Hello everyone, it's Marla. Welcome back to Twinstrology. We are going to do a twin flame reading today for the month of May and what energies are happening in May. I think I'm going to do things a little bit differently today, and I'm going to just go through the reading and speak about it as if it's I'm reading for a couple, just a pair of twins, and I'm just going to see how that goes. I don't know if I'll be able to hold that through the whole reading or not. I might revert back to talking about the collective energies, but we'll see. We'll try it. Let me know if you like it in the comments or if you prefer it when we just stick to the collective. So I'm just clearing the energies. Set the intention to receive a message about your particular union. And it is May 6th that I'm recording this. So the day after the Scorpio full moon eclipse. I hope everyone enjoyed their eclipse day. And also just a note, they're putting a new roof on my neighbor's house. And I've been waiting and waiting all day for them to go home, but it's like 6 o'clock now. Yeah, it's 6:01. And they're still out there hammering, and I just have to get on with this, otherwise I won't get it done. So you may hear some hammering and things in the background. I apologize for that. So before I get into the reading, I also want to say that the oracle that I gave away, the Intuit Tarot deck, and the winner was Rundy Luff, and I announced it, and I commented for Rundy on that reading, and I haven't heard back. So Rundy, if you're out there, you need to contact me, please, before May 30th. You can send me an email at twinstrology@yahoo.com and let me know that you're interested in the deck. Otherwise, I'm going to have to maybe give that deck away and have another contest. Okay, so let's get into the reading. So the energy of union right now is our love will manifest through the union of heart and mind. Expanding these areas allows our love to grow. So higher self is saying that what the focus is right now for your union is how you can balance the heart and mind. This is going to be really important to moving forward. And really this represents the balance between the masculine and feminine, because the heart is the feminine energy, the mind is the masculine energy. And when we're dealing with the energy of separation, our mind and our heart are separated. They're not on the same page. And that is both within the union, but also within each other. So inwardly, our heart and our mind may be doing battle with each other. And that's the case for most people. Or the mind has 100% control, especially for those like living in what we would say the 3D, or they're living in the matrix, right? They're all living within their mind and they're not listening to their heart at all. So we know that this incoming stage of union has to do with the ability to bring balance. And this is clarified with road, crossroads, journey, multiple choice, travel, free will, opportunity. Weigh the options, decide. So there's a crossroad happening right now. And we have the old path. This is what we've been doing. And then we have this new path. This new path is opening up in the energies that we have in May. We have to be willing to take the new path. So there's going to be some choices. And we know that when we make this choice, we need to do it from this balanced place, not just from our logical perspective and not just from our passionate perspective, but within balance. We create things through our heart. That's where we get the idea, the impetus to create is the heart, it's the passion. And the mind brings the passion into existence. The mind grounds it, the mind builds it. So we need these things to be in balance. Now, the old way of doing things, this first path that we have, is the imbalanced way. As I said, this is the 3D way, or we can say this is the old earth path. But this new path is opening up, and we have this one is going to the sun. This is 5D earth. This is making the choice to step out of the mind, to step out of, I want to say logic, but that's not entirely the right perspective. Because of course we need logic. But the problem is, in this way, in 3D earth, we use logic to the point of actually deceiving ourselves. Because we believe that everything is based in logic, and it's not. Because there's many things that are based in the metaphysical, that are based in the energy of spirit and of source. And that's why we need to take this new path now. But of course there's this bigger choice, but then there's also the smaller choice. This bigger choice, this path between the 3D and the 5D, this is opening up for everybody. This is opening up for everybody on the planet. But this translates as well into choices in our own life. How are we moving forward? What are we moving forward with? In that scenario, this first path is like what we've been doing over and over and over. And we've been trying to make things work. And we've been trying to create things, and we're wondering, why isn't this coming? Why isn't this manifesting? And it's because we're often at war within ourselves, and we're at war with other people. Using that term war very loosely, right? We have that inner battle. We're not decided. And so now it's time to make this choice to do something new, because I feel like where you are right now, you're seeing in at least one area of your life where this old path, it's not working anymore. It's not cutting it. Because you're changing, and you are coming into this balance, and your perspective is different than it used to be. And this new perspective is saying, like, do we want to keep walking this? Do we want to keep going through this? Do we want to keep replaying the same old karmic cycles over and over again? What if we tried something new? What if we did something different? What if we followed our heart? What if we trusted Source enough to take a risk and do something that we aren't sure about? When we decide to take that risk, right? When we decide to follow our heart, our mind can go crazy. I'm sure that you experience that several times a day, where your heart wants something and your mind is just like, I don't know, you could get hurt, you could fail. It's risky. Do we want to take that risk? Well, now more than ever, it's time to take this risk. And your higher self is saying, don't worry. Don't worry. This path, look, this path is well trodden. It's not a new path. It's a path that, well, you've actually walked it before in other lifetimes and on other places, on other planets. You've walked that path already. So it's not as big a leap of faith as you think it is. As long as you like get your mind out of it and get logic out of it and get the idea that there's only this path, right? And we believe, we're so focused on the 3D, we believe this is the only path, but it's not. And you know that, and you've lived it, and you can do it again. You just gotta trust. But this is what's coming. When you take that new path and you find yourself in balance, the happiness is coming. What's positive for your union right now is when we're talking, things just come out of my mouth, and afterward, I'm not even sure why I said them. Okay, well, this is because you are getting more aligned with Source. What you're going to be saying is wisdom. Like, you may not realize it, but this new connection is happening. For some of you, it's to your higher self. For some of you, it's to your monad. It's even higher than your higher self. And you're going to be getting a lot of information in the future. Downloads, new ideas, new perspectives. And it's going to be coming from a higher place than where you're at right now. And you really maybe can't see that right now. Or maybe you have a little inkling, but the full detail of how this is going to happen hasn't been disclosed to you. And it probably hasn't been disclosed to your twin fully either. But it's like a connection to wisdom. And why it says, I'm not even sure why I said them, is it's going to be like, it's going to surprise you. What you're going to know, what you're going to say, it's going to surprise you because it's coming from this new alignment. It's coming from this real deep consciousness because you've grown so much and now you're able to implement this growth. And it's part of taking that new path, because a part of this new path for you has to do with your mission and what you're sharing. You've got something to say, something to tell people, and that might be challenging at first. You might be like, oh my God, why did I say that? Because, to be honest, you've been holding back a lot. Like, there's more that you want to say, that you have to say. Some of it is private. Some of it is what you want to say to your twin and what your twin wants to say to you. But some of it's bigger because both of you are going to be guided in the near future to be teachers, to be examples, to help people walk this path that many people on old earth, they have no clue about this path, and they're going to need your help to guide them. And sharing your wisdom is a huge part of that. Now, the communication card of what's positive is clarified with bridge. Again, communication, unite, integrate, overcome barriers, share, harmony, compromise. And again, I think we have a dual perspective here. The first is this higher perspective, the 5D timeline, which is you are bridging the energy of your heart and mind. And with that, you're bridging your 3D self with your 5D self, which is the higher self, or higher, like I said. And being able to get the communication and the downloads. This is so important because it's this new connection that you're getting that is going to help you overcome any barriers to this. Because like I said, there's things that you've been wanting to manifest and you're wondering why they're not showing up for you. And it's because there's these barriers. And what I'm getting is that the first thing is freedom. Like the biggest block to your union right now is there's a lack of freedom. Freedom to be authentic. To say something without apologizing or without worrying about what you're saying. I feel like what's underneath the energy of lack of freedom is unworthiness. Because somewhere you're not believing that you deserve everything that you've been wanting to manifest and feeling like you don't deserve this union. And that's because the mind is getting in the way. The heart knows. If you look into your heart, you know that union's there for you. That union's coming, that this love is real. It's the mind that keeps stepping in and saying, well, nothing's happening in 3D. It can't be real. Why do I keep living in illusion? I should step out of this. And so the mind creates a massive barrier to union, because union is not going to manifest until you accept that it's a 5D concept first and foremost. And it's only when you accept the spiritual concept of oneness that the heart and mind are able to come into the balance that's needed. And that's the second thing here about this bridge card, right? It's the overcoming the barriers through the connection to higher self, and then the higher self guides us to overcome barriers with our twin. All the barriers are mind created. 100%. Every barrier is nothing but a fear created by the mind. And so this is a massive step where you're going to have a lot of fear just collapse if you let it. You just need to trust and walk away from it. I would say the other thing that is limiting freedom for both of you is an underlying energy of shame. Again, it goes back to unworthiness, not believing that you deserve things, not believing that you have this ability to manifest everything that you want. Maybe worried about what am I going to say? Worried about pleasing other people. Some old habits like that. But looking at where you feel unworthy and where you feel shame and how that's constricting you from really being free is something that could really help your connection right now. What challenges your connection is I'm afraid this relationship is too good to be true and I pull away in fear. Again, the mind. The mind steps in. This relationship couldn't possibly work out. I've been waiting all this time and nothing's happened. So why would it happen now? I should just give up. Why do I keep trying? Why do I keep believing in this? Or, it failed before. It's going to fail again. One of the biggest things we do as humans is we believe that what has happened before is going to happen again. What happened yesterday must be what happens tomorrow. Instead of looking as every day is a new day, every day is a chance to forge a new path, to choose something new, to do something differently. Nobody can change until they can change. And so maybe you've been waiting for your twin to change and you feel like they aren't, and it's frustrating you, and so you think, they'll never change. We're going to be stuck like this forever. But that's not true. they've been changing all along, just like you've been changing all along. And now it's a choice. Now there's opportunity coming. This new path is the opportunity that you've been waiting for. And now it's opening up. So you have to learn to trust and not pull away. And both of you pull away at different times for different reasons. Both of you have issues trusting. And again, this is the battle within the heart and the mind. The battle between the feminine and masculine, that inner battle of believing, trying to come to terms with understanding the connection and what is real and what is not real, and moving out of the 3D and into the 5D. You know, your twin couldn't change because your twin couldn't see this road. This road is only now opening up for them. And in many ways, opening up for you. And so you have to realize that it's a new beginning and anything can happen, and put your focus there. This is clarified with tornado. There's a storm brewing. Something is unexpectedly ending, breaking down. Destroy, liberate, freedom. This storm is actually liberating you, but it may not feel like liberation the moment that it happens. We have 11 and 44 here, good numbers, and actually 11 and 22 here. But look, like this is the old path. This is the 3D path. It's getting destroyed. You can't go back. You're too far gone. You're too far into the 5D now, both of you. You can't go back. This is the old you. The houses often represent us, ourselves, but like in dreams and things. This is the old you being destroyed, and you have no choice now. That path is closing. You've got to try something new. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. So, could be something in your reality is coming to an unexpected end, especially if you really have a hard time balancing the heart and mind, and spirit needs to come and make the decision for you about something. Or it could be that you've actually manifested it, because sometimes we're asking for things and we don't think it's coming, but it's because we're holding on so tightly to the past. And sometimes spirit comes in and is like, look, you keep asking me for this, but you're holding on to this. You're clinging to this life preserver, and you've got to let it go. So whatever isn't serving you in your old life, relationship, situation, a behavior, a thought pattern, it's got to go. For example, if you want union, but you've got another relationship, you can't have both. You've got to make a choice. You're at a crossroads, and you've got to choose. Let's just pull a song message for your union. Okay, I've got two songs here. The first one is Find Your Way Back by Jefferson Starship. You know, it's been a long, long road since I packed up and left on my own, and I carry a heavy load, just trying to get back to her heart. I sure ain't got no home. I seem to find love where I ramble, and when it's time to go, I hear that voice again, saying, find your way back. Find your way back to her heart. Find your way back. Find your way back to her heart. This is that mind, the mind coming back. So, and again, that's on the higher level. We're all trying to get back to our hearts. We're all trying to find our way back to that. on a level of your union, your divine masculine's trying to find their way back. They've been stuck in their minds for a while. The divine masculine in all of us. But now, the masculine's looking for their heart. And when they find their inner heart, it's going to lead them back to you. Because you are that heart. It's the energy. The other song is Instant Karma by John Lennon. Instant karma is going to get you, going to knock you right on the head. You better get yourself together because pretty soon you're going to be dead. What in the world are you thinking of? Laughing in the face of love. What on earth are you trying to do? It's up to you. Yeah, you. Well, we all shine on, like the moon and the stars and the sun. Yeah, we all shine on. Everyone, come on. This is that old karmic storyline. It's got to break. If you don't get out of the karmic cycle, whatever that is for you, then karma's going to knock you right on the head in some way and be like, look, I've been trying to show you. I'm trying to show you this forever. And you just can't see it. You're just not listening to your heart. You're stuck in your head. So let's talk about you. Well, before I do that, I want to show you the cards that were on the bottom of the deck. So this is what was on the bottom of the Twin Flame Oracle. This journey is teaching us one of the most important spiritual lessons, patience. And the other deck says, it's time. This is actually a combination of the Zodiac 108 and the Intuit Oracle. What I like to do with that deck is I combine both of the decks together, and that's how I use it. So yeah, I put these up and I was looking at them and I was like, whoa, this really tells us what's going on for you right now. Because over here, feminine energy, the energy of the heart, and that's what the issue is. Over here, the energy of the masculine and the mind, and this is what's blocking it. So first we have this one. How is this blocking the heart? Well, the feminine needs to learn patience. When we are living in our heart, we want it right now, right? We are very passionate about it. We see something and we want it. Whether it's something we see outside of ourselves and we want to possess it, or it's an idea and we want to create it, or we want to expand it. We want to move right on it. And sometimes it's not the right time. And sometimes the mind will tell us we have to wait for something. And if we're out of balance, then we might not listen and we might go forth. Sometimes the message of the mind is not just ego, but sometimes our higher self or source speaks to us also through the mind, through our crown chakra and our third eye chakra. And that part might be saying, it's not time yet. Yes, you're on the right path. Yes, you should be creating that. But you need to take your time because there's steps. You need to clear things. You need to heal things. You need to make a way for that. And when it's time, you'll know. When it's time, you'll get very clear guidance and we'll direct you and things will unfold so quickly. But until then, just be patient. But this is really hard for the feminine. We don't want to wait. We want it now. especially when it comes to your union. You're probably like, I want it now. I've been waiting long enough. This is ridiculous. Only you can't see the full perspective. Only your higher self and source can see the full perspective. And they can see that it's not in your best interest at this moment. So as well as like maybe your purpose is growing right now, but maybe you still need to wait for a minute. One of the reasons why you might need to wait is because you need your mind to catch up with your heart. And you need your twin to catch up with you. And that's just going to take a little bit of time sometimes. This is where trust comes in. Okay, trust also comes through our heart. It comes through our mind as well. But it's the faith, the pure faith in knowing that if I desire it, I can have it. And I just have to wait for the timing. Interesting that eclipse is underneath here. And what does it say? Union of opposites. This is what you're doing. You're creating a union of opposite forces. And that's not easy to create the balance. But the fact that your higher self is saying that you're almost there shows you that you've been doing a lot of work. This lack of patience comes from actually relationship wounds that you've dealt with in the past. Remember what I was saying about no one can change until they can change, and how we keep we keep expecting the future must be like the past. And so we think, well, other relationships hurt me, so this relationship is going to hurt me. I better hold my heart back. Okay? That's how the feminine's mind steps in and derails it. You can't let your mind step in and derail you right now, because it's close, but it's up to you to believe. And don't let the impatience fool you. You know, on this path, everything's about time. But on this path, time doesn't exist. It's irrelevant. What you have here is beyond time. As I said, you've already walked this path, but you don't even realize it. You probably walked it time and time and time again. But from this perspective, you just think like, it hasn't happened yet. This is why your higher self has this bigger perspective that you just have to wait to create that bridge. What you need to heal right now. It amazes me when we say the same things at the same time or finish each other's sentences. Yeah, this is alignment. Get that unite card out again. When we say the same things, we're channeling our higher self. Now, I'm sure you do this with your twin all the time. And you finish each other's sentences, or they're going to say something and you say it first. Or you have all these amazing synchronicities where you're doing something and unbeknownst to you, they're going through the same thing. Okay? That's because there's a bridge. There's an energetic bridge, an energetic connection between you. And the more you clear, the more aligned you are. And so this is really what's happening for you guys right now, is you're coming into this really strong alignment. There's no opposition right now. Like what you're going through, they're going through. What they're going through, you're going through. It may take a slightly different form, but underneath it's the same thing, because now you're one. The gap has been bridged and the alignment is happening. And so all you're needing to do now is make that new choice to walk the new path and expect something different instead of expecting the same. How it's showing up for you is you show up in my dreams. It helps me process buried memories. So you could be having dreams about your twin right now. But even if you aren't, what's happening is that a lot of old memories are being processed right now. So, as I said, you walked this path before and a lot of other different paths. And all that karma from those other lifetimes can interfere with where you are now. So what you're doing is you're clearing that old karma out. You may not even know it. It could be, subconscious because they're telling us it's buried. But I suspect there's some that you know about, and also there's going to be different things showing up in your reality that are guiding you and showing you what is needing to be cleared right now. How this is transforming you. Love like ours can change the world. Absolutely. This love is that powerful, and the world is changing. But you have to be brave enough to take the new path, to take the higher path, to balance the heart and mind, to not let the mind sabotage you anymore and keep you stuck in 3D. Because the fears that we go through, the cycling thoughts, the worries, the insecurities, we can't stay in the vibration of 5D if we're carrying those. So now it's time to let it go. All of these buried memories and bring it into alignment. And this is happening within a few weeks. The situation or event in question will unfold within a matter of weeks. And guess what's in 2 weeks? The Taurus, new moon, and Venus crossing the Sirius point. 2 weeks. This is the shift. We just need to bring love in. We need to trust our heart. How do we change the world? We change the world by trusting our heart. And when we trust our heart, we bring the heart-mind into balance. Now let's talk about your twin. And this for a moment. It's time. So the issue for the masculine is that they get too wrapped up in their mind. They're not listening to their heart, and they don't take action. This card, It's Time, is about it's happening now. Move now. Take action now. But you go into your mind and you say, I'm not ready. I'm afraid. I don't know. It's too risky. And that's what your person does when it comes to your connection. They're afraid. They have been focusing on their mind and all the things that can go wrong. They've also been thinking, I've been hurt before, and I don't know. I believe that what happened in the past is going to happen again. So I'm not sure that I can take that risk. Maybe I should just stay where I am. And that's what's really, had your person stuck. They couldn't see this new path. They didn't believe it. They might have seen it, but they weren't trusting it. All this multidimensional stuff maybe was a little bit uncomfortable for them. For the masculine, they sometimes are a little bit too patient because they don't want to make the change. They want to stay in what is known, what's comfortable, what's logical. And they haven't wanted to follow their heart because that's too vulnerable. That makes them too vulnerable. What I'm getting from your twin is betrayal. This is what is blocking their freedom. What is creating shame for them is betrayal. But when I get that word betrayal for them, it's they've been betraying themselves because they haven't been listening to their heart. And even though they've been stuck in their mind, their heart has definitely been talking to them. And they just couldn't trust it. And in that way, they've been betraying themselves. And that's what has to go. Now, for some of them, they might find that betrayal shows up in their life because their higher self has been communicating and saying, it's time to go, it's time to change. It's time to let all of this dissolve. But because they were afraid, like I said, the universe may now have to help them move by bringing something to an end and actually liberating them, right? This card is very much like the Tower, and the Tower is something unexpected, but it's liberating. So it actually brings positive change. It actually will bring you what you want, but it's because you won't let go. But when we believe in betrayal, or if we have that in our mind, we can manifest betrayal external to us. Or if we keep rejecting the fact that we've been betraying ourselves and abandoning ourselves, then it has to happen that it shows up external to us to really kind of smack us in the face and say, look, you're not doing what's right for you. Why are you abandoning yourself? So for the masculine, there's an energy of betrayal and abandonment of you, of the feminine, an abandonment of the heart, right? There's always multiple levels. But there's also their own abandonment of themselves. And your twin thought they were doing the right thing. They had the intention of doing the right thing. But that's the mind again. Because the mind wants to play by the rules. The mind wants to keep reenacting the programming. What we've been told. We're told what the right thing to do is. But on New Earth, we know in our heart what the right thing to do is. And it's not just what people tell us to do. So how this is showing up for your person, what they're focused on is we are one. Don't let fear get in the way of this truth. This is separation, like I said. The idea that the heart and mind, like not being able to come to some kind of balance within, is because of separation. And the masculine is now ready to get out of separation and into oneness. They're seeing that now. They're seeing that the heart is the way out, the only way out. That's not to say that we're going to put our minds aside. Like I said, we're always going to use our mind, but we don't let the mind rule us, because the mind is easily overruled by the ego. And then we end up doing what the ego wants and not what our higher self wants, or spirit wants, or God wants, however you want to say it. Our minds have been infiltrated by fear, and we can't always trust our mind. That's the illusion, is everyone thinks they can trust their mind because it's logic. But our logic is often occluded by fear. And so breaking the fear, coming into the idea that you are one. And that goes with this too. When you realize you're one, you don't need to run away. You don't need to hide from the connection anymore. Because you realize that they are you, you are them. When I let myself go deeper into thoughts of you, I can feel my heart opening. Yeah, your twin's heart is opening. And it's opening because of their connection to you. Because they can feel your love. They can feel how much work you've done, the healing that you've done. And it's bringing that into balance. It's opening their heart and bringing that into balance for them. How this is transforming them. Sometimes I feel like you're speaking to me in my head. At times it triggers me because I wonder how much you can see into me. So again, we have this communication. And I'm going to say that the first thing is their higher self. They are listening to their higher self now. And sometimes it may trigger them still because they may not be sure that they've got it right. They may still be dealing with some trust issues. But they're listening. The bridge is built. It's there. It's in place. And I suspect that, that's been in place for them for a long time. They just have had selective hearing maybe about different things. Or, sorry, my camera cut out for the second time. Typical Mercury retrograde issues. The other thing is, they're hearing you. They're hearing you speak to them. And sometimes that triggers them because they're still getting used to maybe how connected you are. Or they've been trying to hide their vulnerability. And what makes them so uncomfortable, one of the reasons why they ran away, is because it was too scary to have someone see into them, to see who they really are, when they try so hard to hide who they are. But this is transforming, and they're getting more comfortable with it. In fact, they're ready to begin to be seen. They're getting tired of living a life where they aren't seen, because they know that there's something special about them. They know that there's something bigger that they're supposed to be doing, and they know that it's connected to you. So there may still be some healing for them to do, but they are heeding the call. And this is clarified with the heart. Appropriate, yes, their heart is online now. They're listening to their heart more. And I think that they're seeing that they haven't been listening to their heart and how that's affected them. That they're not living the life of fulfillment that they want. So your twin's been wondering, they've also been going, I'm trying to manifest this stuff. Why isn't it coming? Why don't I have this life that I've been dreaming of? I'm working my ass off over here. And it's because they're trying to create something in the wrong way. They are trying to create from that mindset, from the logic, instead of their passions. Because when you're shut down, when you're running from things, when you're afraid to take that risk in case, you get hurt or things fail. And sometimes we need to go through failures. It's part of our growth. It doesn't mean that we're bad or that we're not good enough. It's just an experience. But, well, they weren't in the energy to create that because they weren't in a place that was their heart's desire. They were in a place that's karmic. It's a cycle. It's not of their choosing. It never was going to be what they wanted, but they couldn't see that. Because it wasn't what their heart was desiring. If your heart really desires something, you can't give it second best, poor substitute and expect that that's going to fulfill you. Because you can't settle for second best. And you probably know that because you probably have wanted to move on from your twin at times. But you know that your twin is the one. And to settle for second best it just doesn't cut it. But take heart because they're seeing that now too. They're seeing that this old way of being, this old way of doing something, this old way of living, it's not going to bring this. It's not going to bring the opportunity and the love that they really want. Because the more your heart opens, the more love you need, the more you want in your life. And you don't want, you want peace. So what it's time for is it's time to start taking that risk and starting to move towards all these things that maybe you know that you want, but haven't felt ready to actually make the change to bring it all to you. Let's just pull a song from the feminine to the masculine. Okay, I Never Knew Love by Olivia Newton-John. I asked you to open up my eyes, and there you were. I asked for the keys to paradise, and there you were. They say only ask and you'll receive. I never knew that applied to me. I never knew love. Life is good, life is sweet. It's the way that we perceive. Critics say we can dream, change our mind, heal the world. It's easy, just believe. I asked for change in all my life, and there you were. You're everything I had hoped to find. Yes, there you were. I hope and I pray that you will find a peace and a joy as great as mine. All about love. I hope that you find love. What would the masculine say to the feminine? Lies by the Thompson twins. You told me you loved me, so I don't understand why promises were snapped in two and words are made to bend. The bigger the better, some stolen from Japan, collected from around the world. They'll catch you if you can. Lies, 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 yeah. They're gonna get you. Do I have to catch you out to know what's on your mind? While Cleopatra died for Egypt, what a waste of time. White ones and red ones and some you can't disguise. Twisted truths and half the news. Can't hide it in your eyes. Okay, so I'm getting, again, lots of levels to this. The first thing is your person feels like they're kind of trapped in their own lies. So your person has not been their authentic self with you. They haven't shared everything they've been going through with you. And in that sense, they've been lying and they feel like they've painted themselves into a corner with their lies. The second level of this is something in their life lies, lies, lies. So some truth, some betrayal could possibly come up from whatever the karma they're dealing with. Person, situation, beliefs, programming, whatever needs to come crashing down. They're like, whoa, that was a lie. Either someone was lying to them, or the way they perceived something was an internal lie, or what they believed was a lie, which takes me to the third possibility here of this message, is this 3D illusion, lies. And I think that, that on the bigger scale, this is what is resonating, because it's the mind connecting with the lies. It's the lies of the matrix. The lies that this is the only reality, that this is the truth. What the powers that be feed us, how they hide things from us. Okay? So this kind of 3D reality for a lot of people is actually going to come crashing down in some way, and probably there's going to be some public event on some level that shows people. But what I see about your person is that they're looking deeper into things. If you're wondering, like whether it's spiritual truths, whether it's about twin flames, or whether it's about the matrix and how, maybe you want to call it conspiracy theories, or do you want to call it like people just being brainwashed, people being programmed not to question what's happening in the world. This is becoming clear. And with it, I feel like your person is having a lot of regrets. And remember, we're all masculine and feminine, so there's going to be levels of this that apply to you as well. And I think that even those that are of the divine feminine persuasion are going to get their eyes opened about something too, because there's even things that are going to come out that are opening our eyes. And also for a lot of those in the divine feminine energy, part of what's changing is your connection to your higher self. You're going to start getting deeper information about what's going on and what you're here to do. So maybe talking out about the lies, or sharing information about how this is an illusion. This 3D reality is like a simulated reality, and there's all kinds of things happening within it. So let's talk about the future. The planets are activating us to heal and bringing us closer together, surrender to the changes. This is clarified with yachts. Adventure, luxury, smooth sailing, great ease, self-indulgent, prosperity, wealth, extravagant. So yeah, definitely the planets are playing a role. Like I said, May 19th and 20th is big shift days, leading us onto that new path to 5D Earth. But also the planets, they want to bring you opportunity, growth. You've been trying to create something that was in the wrong vibration. And if you let yourself take the new path, you're going to find that your life is smooth sailing. It's not going to be full of all the resistance that you've been experiencing up till now. Like everything you want is like right there, but you can't get it on this path. You only can get it on this path. And that means you've got to take a risk. I want to hold you in my arms and feel our bodies unite as one. And this is clarified with childhood. So there's this magnetism that wants to draw you together. And this is really what is creating that change. The desire to be together in the reality, in the material world is a better way I want to say it. Because I just said reality in this plane doesn't exist. In the material world. And the only way to do that is to heal your inner child. You've got to be playful. You've got to have no worries. Lightness of being. Loving life. Growth. New beginnings. Okay? And I'm seeing this like... It's like you and your twin has children. Joining hands. Because you're healed. Or you're healing. Can't guarantee we're ever going to be healed, but we're healing, and we're healing enough to get here, to get into the material world very soon. I'll contact you when I'm able to. Right now, my life is too complicated to bring you into it, but know that I do want to talk to you. So your person does want to talk to you. And they're going to contact you soon. They may have to wait for this. So I'm not going to put a time frame on it because actually I asked for clarification of this card as well, and I got woman. So I feel like it's reaching out to the feminine energy from the masculine. Also, we have love interest too, so it doesn't matter which gender, but it's also clarified with happening now. And look at this card, like he is on a train platform. And here's that same train platform. Well, it's not the same one, but you get the idea. So here they are. I'll contact you when I'm able, and then Spirit is saying it's happening and it's in the same location, and here they're by themselves, but here we have a couple in love, a couple reuniting perhaps after a long period of separation, and this train is bringing them back together again. So while Spirit on one hand is saying that we have to have patience, because patience is a virtue, it's a lesson, and patience is also coming out of time into no time that we need to do right now. But also, it's time. It's time for the masculine to take action. All of our inner masculines. But it's very possible that your person, if you haven't communicated with them for a while, could reach out to you. They want to reach out to you at any rate. And it's just a matter of them getting over their fears and insecurities. What I'm feeling as we make this shift is that something that's going to come up for a lot of people are energies of like your inner protector and your inner critic as things that are going to be triggered. So what this card could mean for you is your inner protector has to loosen up, or your inner critic is so strong that aspect of your mind is always knocking you down, and something has to come in to liberate you from your inner critic. And also I'm getting lower vibrational energies. So wherever low vibrational energies are attacking you, there's something there that needs to shift in the future, and that's what these cards are telling us. So what is the future in song? As Long as You Follow by Fleetwood Mac. I've been searching for a pot of gold, like the kind you find at the end of the rainbow. I've been dreaming, I thought it was in vain. Ah, but now you're here, I can't believe you're back again. Now I know that I can't lose as long as you follow. I'm gonna win, I'm gonna beg, steal, or borrow as long as you follow. I've been wandering, gone away too far, but the road was rough to get back where you are. And the sun went down, it never seemed to rise. Ah, but now you're here with the light shining in your eyes. And now I know I can't lose as long as you follow. I'm gonna win, I'm gonna beg, steal, or borrow as long as you follow. So a couple messages there. First, you have to trust that your person is following you. You're on the same path, right? Sometimes, and I've had this happen many times, where there's been a shift in the energy and Spirit has showed me a bridge, and I had to walk the bridge by myself, not knowing if my twin was going to make it to the other side or not, if my twin was going to be on the path. But my heart told me that it would be okay, even if the mind comes in with a little bit of fear. But I always knew in my heart that I have no choice. I've got to keep walking my path. I've got to keep going across my bridges, because my twin is right behind me if I just trust. So sometimes you get into that idea that you're doing all the work or you're so far ahead, and I don't think that's true. I think you're always doing it together. And Spirit is telling us that it's all coming together now. Yes, they have been following you. They have been walking this path with you all along, but now the paths are converging, and maybe we can't see that up in the future where the paths converge and the 3D and the 5D meet, and the heart and the mind meet, and you and your twin meet and step into some whole new reality that you have never even dreamed of. Let's pull an Isis card. Initiation, spiritual testing of Ra and the Lady Isis. When you are being spiritually initiated into the mysteries of light, love, and power, there are moments of deep challenge. The key is to find the light within the challenge, the learning, growth, or wisdom that can be summoned to turn the challenge into an opportunity for healing. Whilst the scorching heat of Ra seeks to burn through any resistance, the Lady Isis, with compassion and cleverness, will protect you from burning and instead enable you to be nourished and grow from the light of Ra. Let Isis help you pass this test of intense growth as you thrive with new life. For advanced aspirants on the path, initiation will occur at various stages. Sometimes your entire life will feel like an initiation. At other times, specific areas will be flowing easily, whilst others are challenging. This oracle comes as confirmation that you are not needlessly suffering. If you can find the light within the struggle, tests, or challenges that face you now, you will experience breakthrough healing. As an initiate, this oracle urges you to honor life as a gift and treat any challenge or pressure as a way for you to grow into brighter and purer light, capable of great spiritual service on this planet. That spiritual service includes growing an ability to be able to love freely and beyond limits, to love with courage and faith. And it's the masculine energy that gives the heart the courage to love. In fact, initiation for you now, dear one, is an opening to new levels of power and peace, self-possession and love. There are such sweet fruits waiting for you at the top of the tree you are currently climbing. It may seem as though you are in a barren land at times with little hope, nourishment, or encouragement. Yet your spiritual oasis is not far away. The Lady Isis and the power of Ra together are helping you grow. Stay focused on the Lady and her love for you, and you shall pass through the desert of initiation unharmed and deeply transformed. It's funny how it says, pass through the desert of initiation, and here we have this on this card, the desert. So it may feel like you're in a dry, barren land, but trust that the Divine Mother is watching over you, and she will not let you perish. She will not let your life dry out. She's only trying to lead you to a new path, the path of everything that you desire. If you would like a personal reading with me, I'll link my website below. I am currently doing readings. Let me know again in the comments whether you like this style of reading or if you liked my old way. I'm sending you guys so much love. Enjoy the Taurus new moon and Venus crossing Sirius. I hope it brings amazing things into your life. Get ready to be transformed. Sending you love.